What is up, guys? Today we're back with another eFootball rant video. I haven't hated on eFootball for a while, so I'm back to remind you guys that this game is one of the biggest disgraces in the history of sports gaming. And so, as usual, I'm on the subreddit. I check it a lot to see if there's any new, actual content, like offline content, Master League. I've been checking for 4 years now. I don't know why I'm still doing this. And I'm still seeing reports on Twitter about Master League's coming, Master League's coming. You've been saying this since 2022. Any serious fan base would have abandoned this game ages ago, but you've still got people spending £100 a week on it, on the promotions, player packs, the same content every day, every week. This game's going absolutely nowhere. Everyone's waiting for new cards, new content, play to win, waiting for new players, free to play, waiting for good player of the week selections. So yeah, the game content is essentially just weekly cards, free to play players. If you don't spend money on the game, all you've got is offline. The only offline content in a game made by Konami, which was originally PES. That game's original main selling point was offline content and Master League. This game has zero offline content except kickoff matches after 4 years. Zero offline content, yeah. If you do want offline content that you still need to be connected to the online servers for, you've got My League, which is a watered down version of Master League. You can only play one season. You can't sign any players. So watered down, it is a disgrace. You've also got divisions. I think it's called divisions, right? Yeah. You hardly ever get rewards for offline divisions that are good. Online divisions right now, there's a promotion going on where the top, certain percent of players within this window will get Lewis Dunk. Yeah. Probably the most pointless promotion I've ever seen. I don't know why they do this. They wait every week for new content every Thursday just to get slammed with nothing but the same cards. This is eFootball. This is eFootball summed up. No new actual groundbreaking improvements on anything. In this 4 years, the only thing that's improved is the gameplay, because it was awful when it first came out in terms of physics. Remember the eFootball glitches? I'll even put some on the screen right now, and just the player faces was so bad. Worse than PES 2014, potentially. And yeah. So 4 years later, it's still not a next-gen game. This community obviously is extremely biased against FC and any EA football game because they're basically a cult. Say anything bad about eFootball, it's better than EAFC. It's better than EAFC. Because for some strange reason, despite the fact that these guys are football fans, they think you have to be a cult-like fan of one game. If you don't like EAFC or eFootball, fair enough. But this polarizing, or you have to only like one game, this cult-like behavior is so strange. And it's say what you like about EAFC, it's an actual next-gen game in terms of presentation, which of course these guys will tell you doesn't matter, which is why eFootball still looks like a PS3 game in terms of player models, in terms of stadiums, in terms of the fans in the crowd. Oh yeah, but when you zoom into the players on instant replay, it looks good. Yeah, but how about when you actually play the game? The actual important thing? It still looks like a sort of borderline PS3 era game. It's just got nothing about it still in 2025. And, if you start reading the comments, you really wait every week for new content? Well, yeah, what else is there to do in the game? There is literally nothing else to do. It is a live service, online-only game. 90% of the player base play online PvP against other real-life players. There's no transfer market. Imagine if FIFA released only Ultimate Team, but with zero transfer market, zero squad building challenges, zero weekend league, or whatever they call it these days. What else are you gonna wait for? But yeah, defend it, because Konami are like, I don't know, Konami are paying you guys to defend this game. Because that money they're making has to be going somewhere. It's a live service game. You get a few campaigns, one balanced patch. It'll be work. The patches don't do anything. These patches don't add anything. Well, they are called patches for a reason. But yeah, a rework every year. I'm not sure what's getting reworked. Well, yes, I guess they did change the dribbling this year, didn't they? They made defending less OP, I guess. Every year they make more money. Yeah, but are we seeing that get invested back into the game? Now here we go. Next comment. Guys, don't you have friends? I've spent years playing PES and FIFA with different friends. Now we have eFootball, which is engine-wise the best football game ever. What? Ever? eFootball isn't better than PES 17, 18, 19. Gameplay-wise, honestly, if they improved eFootball, it would actually be a decent game if it had Master League. Online. No, people say the gameplay is good. The problem is, eFootball / PES fans think that good gameplay is literally just perfect conditions. Let's judge the game offline on a very, very friendly difficulty, like professional. Look at the movement, just pass the ball around the back. But yeah, best game ever. Try and actually play the game like you're actually trying to beat the AI in an actual serious condition, you know, on Master League, which doesn't exist because there's actual scripting in Master League. On a high difficulty, trying to break down the opponent instead of just passing the ball around the back to show off the pretty animations, the passing, and the speed of the game falls apart instantly. It's not the best football game ever. I can name about 5 FIFA games and 5 PES games off the top of my head that are better. It's not even the best Konami game ever. 100% free. Now, this is the biggest illusion in modern gaming. A free game that is live service, no offline modes, and very actual little content is not better than a paid game. I would pay for Master League right now. It's like that new Skate game. Oh, why are you guys complaining about it? It's free. I'd rather pay for an actual Skate 4 that is actually good and isn't a live service Fortnite skating version. Like, I'd rather pay. Being free isn't an upside. You know when people are like, oh, if something's free, you're the product. It's got to be one of the most cringe phrases of all time. But unfortunately, whoever invented it, absolute cash money, because, no pun intended, because that is true. 100% free, but they're making more money than they ever did with PES. I wonder why that is. It's almost like people are paying more because it's free. And that money isn't being invested back into the game. Just find some dudes and play with them offline. Oh yes, 2025. But in order to enjoy a football video game, you have to find people to play with in real life. This franchise was once considered to have the best offline career mode back in the PS2 days. And it's fallen so far that it doesn't have a career mode now. Just find some dudes and play with them offline, goddammit. This guy has to be paid by Konami. If you get bored somehow. Somehow? There's nothing to do in the game. Just go to full manual. You'll never find a better football game than full manual eFootball. You're getting paid by Konami for sure. Oh, no. I don't care about Master League. This is literally just Skate, football version, the new Skate game. It stripped away so many core fundamentals of PES, like random selection, Master League, just any become a legend. Same way Skate got rid of. What's that mode again where you used to break your bones? Death races, all of that stuff. replaced it with absolutely nothing, and the new fan base is so easy to appeal to because they don't actually know how good the franchise used to be. How can you not care for Master League? You guys have the lowest standards I've ever seen. But when it comes to EAFC, of course, yeah, the standards are super high. It has to look one-to-one to real-life football. People will talk about how EAFC is paid. You can literally... People will empty a pack in eFootball, which costs more than £100, to empty a whole promotion, a whole spin, to empty the box completely. That literally costs twice the amount of EAFC 26 right now. Oh my gosh. It's been the same thing on repeat for 4 years and people are still defending it. This fan base is too good at gaslighting. It reminds me of back when people used to say Master League was better than career mode, and it was just a flat out lie. I guess it was at one point, in the PS2/early PS3 days. But when PS4 came out, it was game over. It just had so much more functionality and features. But people kept peddling the lie. I don't know what this blind loyalty to Konami is. Unpopular opinion, but I think a football game doesn't need that much content. The content is playing football matches. Since the focus is on cards, they could add more modes from card games. Draft, picks, and bans. Draft? What, you mean like foot draft? From the evil EAFC? The worst football video game of all time? That has absolutely nothing you could possibly want in PES. Sorry, eFootball. That's strange. It's almost as if that game actually knows what it's doing when it comes to content. I'm much more disappointed at the network quality. And this is the thing, guys, look. Randomness, script, DDA. Why is it that when people judge the gameplay of eFootball, they don't ever take these things into account? These things instantly take the gameplay way down. It's the only game I've ever played where I can have perfect internet and still lag. And it's only got online content. So if you're talking about gameplay, you have to judge that. You have to take that into account. It's the only game where people just completely ignore the reality of it. Imagine the football club playing matches with no purpose. Exactly. I'm going to upvote it just to upvote it again for emphasis. The purpose is to have fun while playing a game which simulates football. Yeah, but when I click on the subreddit, it's just people complaining about scripting, lag, people exploiting the gameplay. It doesn't look like anyone here is having fun. eFootball has potential. Yeah, it does, but it's been 4 years. If it was the first year, I'd hear you out. There's more script and more ice skating than FIFA. No, as a FIFA player, there's definitely more ice skating in FIFA or FC. But I do agree that people exaggerate with how good the physics are in eFootball. The physics were better in PES in terms of realism. And I actually have seen some skatey moments, especially when intercepting passes. Nowhere near as bad as FC 25. But when people act like this game is the pinnacle of physics and realism, no. Have you played any PES game before? You have to be out of your mind to think that. The fact that FIFA kept making millions with their shitty game. Konami is the lesser evil. Konami isn't some pet project made by some solo developer, Konami are raking it in right now. But for some reason, they're the lesser evil. They're actually more evil. How do you put out a live service football game before EA, the company that is known for being money hungry? How do you beat them to it? You make EA look good here, Konami. But apparently they're the lesser evil. This game's a disaster after playing FC 26. When you play eFootball every day, you don't necessarily realize how awful the servers are. Everything's slow, micro freezes throughout the match. It's like a PS1 game. Yeah, that's why I stopped playing it online. It doesn't matter how good my internet is. It's the only game I've ever played where I still lag regardless. But you've committed the cardinal sin of praising anything about EAFC or FIFA on the eFootball subreddit.